Hey YouTube, superyoshi109 here. I'm not dead. Alright. So yeah, I haven't made a video in a while, but today was my last day of school. I got to leave school at 9, which felt pretty nice. So, yeah. I'm going to give you a deck profile. I actually went to a regionals this past weekend, but I didn't make any videos because I was just like studying for exams and stuff. So I played this deck involving this card, sending this card to the graveyard, and then tributing this card for some of these. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just explain how I did first, and then I'll show the deck. So round 1 I played Gravekeepers, and I don't like Royal Tribute. That's all I have to say about that matchup. So I lost. Round 2, I played this Genex guy, and he was probably my favorite matchup of the day, because I tried to bring up Treeborn and he bottomlesses. Yeah, that's how that goes. And then the next time, I actually bring up Treeborn and attempt to sack for Mobius. He says I'm not allowed to because I already summoned Treeborn for my turn. So yeah, it was kind of funny to play against him. That's what happens when you lose your first round. Yeah. Alright, so moving on. Round 3, I played a Fabled Plant deck. He got like OTK fields on me like every game. It's just like games 1 and 3, I dropped Fader on him both times. And then I just ended up winning afterwards because he had like no more resources left and no protection. And then I just ended up game 1, I sacked for Caius. It feels like Reagan, Brio, and like Ancient Sacred Wyvern. I got rid of his Brio and his Wyvern, and I guess like won from there because he couldn't do anything. Game 3, he goes for the game. I just go drop Dark Holes, and yeah. And then afterwards, I just like win. So let's see. After that, round 4, I played a Tragoedia deck, and pretty much I OTK him game 1 by doing this. His field is Scrap Dragon and Colossal. I go draw, standby phase, bring up Treeborn, tribute it for Econ, take his Scrap, bring up another one, tribute that one, or bring up Treeborn again, then tribute that for another Econ, bring it up again, sack for Mobius, make sure I keep his Ravine on the field, though he can't drop Gorz, but get rid of everything else, and then attack for 8,000 exactly. That's how I won that one. And then game 2, I just like win. It was pretty easy. That was probably my easiest matchup of the day. Round 5, I played Counter Fairies, and I 2-0'd that. Pretty much, the guy's like keeping control with like his counter traps, but he can't actually capitalize off of them. So I just end up just like wasting everything he has, and then just like beating him by just keeping my one monster on the field. I was pretty much down to 400, and pretty much he was at like full. I just beat him with like swap frogs and genex controllers, just putting in some work. So yeah. Then round 6, I played another Tragoedia deck that was like weird. I won game 1, but I lost games 2 and 3 because he got out Mask first turn with a Stardust, so I really couldn't do much. So yeah, I ended up losing, and then I dropped. I already had my invite, so I didn't really need to keep going. It was like 350 people there. I entered Winamat, and I scrubbed out completely. I don't like Titanial. I was playing against plants, and the guy pretty much, I got rid of his Titanial. Then he called it, I got rid of it again, and then he reborned, and by that time I'd already taken so much damage that that attack was game. Game 2, he brings it out again with Lone Fire, then he reborns it for game. So, after I get rid of it. So I ended up losing. Really, it wasn't even because of the deck, it was because of Titanial. Titanial just put in some Major League work for him. So yeah, now I'm going to show you the deck. Side next Dripsuit. Alright. So 3 swaps. I was actually considering playing 2, because it really doesn't have much of a purpose in this deck, other than sending Treeborn. Maybe itself to prevent dead draws or something, but that's about it. But I did decide to play 3, because I really did want to make sure I got Treeborn into the grave as fast as possible, and nothing stupid happened where I couldn't get him in or something. So yeah, the 3 swaps are gonna send the 2 treeborns. Obviously, treeborn just comes up a lot. I did run the genex engine. I ran 3 undines and what's it called, 2 controllers because it's just good. Undine can send treeborn or could send your fishborg. I did only run 1 fishborg. I actually didn't make formula that much throughout the whole day. Really, I don't like using undine to send treeborn that much because really the only way of getting fishborg into the grave is with undine. But most of the time I did end up having to send treeborn because I would not draw swap and undine in the same hand. That's the sending treeborny stuff. Next, for the monarchs, I ran 3 caius because it's just good. I ran 3 raizas. Keep in mind, I didn't actually play this deck at any tournaments before. I just, like, made it right before the tournament, literally. I didn't have any raizas. I ended up buying them at a burial right before the tournament, and then I completely just finished the deck. 2 mobius. I decided to play this guy today because he's really good, and the results of the regional proved that I was correct on that one. Mobius is an amazing card. I think it's a good pick for the format with like all those field spells running around. It would have been helpful a lot during the Gravekeeper matchup, but I never actually seemed to get it. I had lots of caiuses and raizas in that matchup though. I was actually considering bumping him to 3 because he is a good, like, a warning baiter, pretty much. Like, you know, you can get rid of the warning so they don't warning your raiza or caius. He's very nice. Very good. Very good. 2 lads. I was playing 1. I was playing 3 at first. I realized that's really not that good against a lot of the matchups. So I cut it down to 2. It wasn't doing that well at 2. So I bumped it back up to, or I bumped it down to 1. And at 1, it just, I don't know. It is a really good card. So I think 2 is a good number. I wouldn't run 3 though, but 2 is fine. And then the last tribute I ran was Dark Dust Spirit. This card's just good. Gets rid of the big fields. I actually didn't bring him out too much, but I did bring him out one time just to poke for the 22. He's good against Titanial, I'll say that, since he doesn't target. And then my protection-y stuff, we've got 3 faders. Just like necessary protection. 1 trag and 1 gorz. Just good. You're not wearing any traps, you might as well protect yourself somehow. And then 2 veilers. This guy is pretty pro. I'm just going to say that right now. I was considering putting in the main deck Crow for the day, but I decided not to. That ended up being a pretty good choice for me. I did not play any plants or any samurais, like you guys heard from before. So it really wouldn't have been that useful. Maybe against like the tragoedia matchups it would have been kind of nice, but I did end up siding it, because I do side. So yeah, spells, 2 econs. I cut it into 2 for consistency reasons. 3 is nice, but 2 is fine. You don't really need 3. 2 soul exchange. I was considering cutting this card down to 1, but after the regionals, I was considering putting it up to 3. Because this card, I was like questioning why it was actually that good. But I realized that this card is your only out to stuff like King Tiger and Vasaldina. And there's lots of other stuff where people just like put a card on the field. They're just like, I've just beaten your deck. And then you just like use soul exchange and just get rid of it. It gets rid of like all of the threats. And it's really just a good card. Especially if you can't get that treeborn into the grave first turn. So, soul exchange is a very nice card. Allure for draw power. You know, add controller to hand with undine, then allure. Always a nice play. 1 for 1, get fishborg easier. Double MST, because it's double MST, and trunade, yeah. And then dark hole and reborn. I was playing torrential in this deck at a time. It's not that good, so I cut it out. So yeah, extra deck. I ran 3 formulas, because you kind of have to. 1 armory arm, 1 cataster, 1 brio, 1 black rose. I ran Gungnir. I'm running Mobius, so you can make him pretty easily with fishborg plus Mobius. So I actually did not end up making him at all, but still, I'll go over actually like what I made afterwards. 1 Stardust, 1 Scrap, 1 Darken. This card's amazing. This card is so underrated in my opinion. It's like Scrap, except you don't have to actually minus yourself to use it. It's like plus that can get another plus off. I ran Mistworm, which is kind of an odd choice. I have Trishula like right here, but I ran Mistworm with Trishula, and mainly because of the fact that it does create good OTKs, and lots of decks like Sam's just like to bring out like multiple synchros, like Shien and Barkion, or like Shien and Beast. This just gets rid of all of them, all of the threats, in just 1 card, which is what I really like about it. Trishula's nice, but sometimes I'd rather have the Mistworm. I didn't actually make Mistworm. I did make Trishula, though, and Trishula is just a good card. Speaking of Trishula, yeah, right there. Shooting Star. I made pretty much my ending field against this one guy. My round 2 Genex guy was Trishula, Shooting Star, Scrap Dragon, and Stardust. I absolutely destroyed him after I made everything. And then I ran Chimera Tech. This card's going to get cut really fast once I get Librarian. I hope I get it soon. I ordered my thing like 2 months ago, or like a month ago or something. Still haven't gotten it yet, which is kind of weird, but whatever. That's the extra. Really, the stuff I made in here, I made Shooting Star, Trishula, Dark End, Scrap, Stardust. I made Black Rose, Brio, Cataster, Armory Arm, and I made 3 formulas. I didn't make any of this stuff. Really, this I wanted to make, but I never actually had a chance to. This I didn't really want to make because Trish was just better. And then I didn't even see any Cyber Dragons being played. So, I like Chimera Tech in this extra because you spam formula, and if they have a Cyber on the field, you just go Synchro Chimera Tech once they have it. So, yeah, that's that. Side deck. It's really high monster count on the side deck. I'll explain some more things about it in a sec. 2 Max C's. It's Max C. It's a good card. Draw power. This card's kind of underrated. I love it in this deck just because it gets you your like tributes faster, your protection, like faders and gorz and stuff faster. And it's going to be really good when like Librarian comes out because everyone's just going to be like trying to get as much advantage as possible, but while they're getting advantage, you're also getting advantage since they have to like synchro like crazy to abuse Librarian. So Max C is really good against that. 2 Crows. That's a puppet plane. Yeah, this is a dual terminal crow. Look at this thing. It looks so nice. That's what I think. Comment down below what you guys think of the new dual terminal cards. So, pretty much, Crow's good. I used him a lot against, I played 2 Dragoonies like I told you guys. He's really good against that matchup. The guy went, like, this happened to me like 3 times. Summon Ducks, Chain, Crow on your Phalanx, and then they just like are all sad afterwards. Crow's a good card. In a deck that gets multiple pluses, you can handle the -1 yourself to cripple your opponent even more. So yeah, 2 Puppet Plants. I didn't actually side this guy in the whole day. Actually, no, that's wrong. I sided him against the Gravekeeper matchup, and I did draw him, but he didn't have a monster on the field at the time. And then he tributed me and got rid of it. So, yeah. That's what happened with that. Then I also use 1 Hamster and 3 Raikos. 3 Raikos might have been a little too heavy, but I actually only sided it in once, or no, twice, my mistake. I sided it in against the Gravekeeper matchup and against the Counter Fairy matchup. I know Counter Fairies, you guys are so jealous, aren't you? But this card's good just because it like pops, it gets rid of threats. It's like Soul Exchange, it gets rid of the stuff like King Tiger and other stuff. And Hamster is like it's fodder, it's sacrificed and stuff, so it's good. I only sided 1 Tribute Monster, and that was 1 Vanity's Fiend. I was playing 2. This card, I think, has way too much hype. It's really not that good. pretty much with it, you stop, like, it's really good against plants, I will say that. I don't like it against Sams, just because, like, by the time you're going to be able to bring it out, they're going to have the Chien on the field already, and this card just, like, loses the Chien. But if they don't already have the Chien on the field, go ahead and try to bring this out. You know, they might have, like, the hand play that they can do, but still, it's a good try. It's good against, like, Mirror Match. I didn't play any, though. But it's an overall, it's not that bad of a card. I think it has a lot of hype, though. It's my opinion. Spells, I only sided one. That was one Burial. Dual Terminal. This is the old Dual Terminal. I kind of like the old one better. That's just me. I sided Burial pretty much every game because I got chained and crowed a lot. This just, like, lulls at them. Especially at Crow. It's like they -1 themselves, and you just, like, you -1 yourself, but you just, like, made it so that they minus for no reason. So basically, it ends up being 1-for-1. Addition for the win. Alright, and then traps. I've decided 2 Malcats for, like, the really trap-heavy decks. It was good against Gravekeepers, even though I did not get to actually get it off. And it's good against, I sided against Counter Fairies. I did get it off against him and pop 3, which was really good. So, yeah. And then 1 return. This card was actually, in my opinion, not good. I didn't actually get it off, but it was never actually useful. I drew it once against the, what's-his-face? The Fabled guy, but I already had, like, complete control of the game at the point, so I didn't really need it. I didn't have anything removed either, so, yeah. Alright, guys, so that's that. Once again, sorry for not making videos. This video is probably really long, so, yeah. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Peace.